guys are all getting a little message from me. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and we will go ahead and get going. So thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I've been looking forward to doing this webinar all week, so I'm very excited to be chatting with you guys. So if you hop on, just make sure that you're, let's see, someone's got to unmute themselves or mute themselves.
So probably your critics will say, "Oh, well, check down."
1 second, guys. So we have someone who needs to mute themselves, or maybe you guys already figured it out. Okay, so I've got my phone on so that way I can see the chat when I ask you guys to kind of engage and answer questions. So I guess the first thing is go ahead and comment and let me know, who's here and where are you coming from? My name's Katie and I live in Oregon, and I just got off of a long day at work, and I'm excited to have you guys all here. So if you can comment in the chat and let me know who is here. Okay. Oh, there we go. It's coming through. Look at that. Okay, so we have Ingrid from Atlanta, Leanne from St. Louis, Missouri, Emily from Virginia, Kate from Portland. Hi, Kate. Catherine from Canada, Brandy from Tennessee, Sue from Pennsylvania, Cole. Cole is a dietetic intern working with me right now, so welcome, Cole. Kiran from Michigan, Brianne from New Jersey, Jennifer from New York. My goodness, you guys are from all over. And look at that. Melissa, you're stationed in Guam. Awesome. Lauren from Illinois, Jen from Canada, Arantha from Ben, and she's also a dietetic intern working with me right now. So glad you could be on. Shannon from San Francisco, Lydia from Michigan, Carol from Forest Grove, Oregon, another Oregonian. So I'm so glad to have you guys all here today. And thanks so much for, chatting with me. And I'll be sure to ask more questions as we go. I think it's always best if we can, the more interaction that you guys have, the better it's going to be for everyone. So thank you guys so much. So today we are going to talk all about blogging as a business. Now, I know a lot of you are on live. A lot of you are going to be catching this on the replay, but I'm just, again, so excited to have you guys here today. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Katie Dodd, and I'm the owner of Katie Dodd Nutrition LLC. And I have a full-time job. I guess I should mention that. I work full-time in the VA, and all of my, business entrepreneurial endeavors are my side hustle. So I have a podcast called Dietitian Side Hustle. I have a primary blog called The Geriatric Dietitian and a food blog called High Calorie Recipes. Do a lot of fun things, and I'm going to share a lot of this with you guys today and how I've been able to build a business around blogging, and it's all a side hustle. So what's on the agenda? What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to start off with an introduction. I'm going to share with you guys my story and talk to you guys about how a blog actually makes money. Because I know for me, just a couple of years ago, I had no idea that a blog actually made money. So we're going to cover that. I'm going to share some numbers with you guys. Then I'm going to talk about the 3 steps to start, because I want this to be don't just learn okay, cool, I can make money blogging, but what can you do if you decide yes, I want to do that. And then finally, we are going to have some next steps. And at the very end, we will have a section for Q&A. Okay. I'm doing some ninja muting people skills over here. So if I get distracted, that's what I'm doing. So I want to let you guys know that after this webinar is done, I've got to take a minute to upload it and get it all saved so that way I can send out the replay to you guys. But I'm also going to be sending you some notes. It's going to be a nice 2-pager with some notes covering the most important topics that we talked about today. And then also a blogging checklist that's going to be something to help you get started. So that will be coming your way after the call. So are you guys ready? So I've got a question for you guys. I know we're talking about blogging, but I want to get a feel of who else is feeling this way? I know this was a lot of the reason I started my own blog. So I want to know how many of you feel like you just don't have enough time to make money to pay off your loans, your debts, your bills, or live the lifestyle you want. So if that's you, go ahead and comment in the chat, and go ahead and comment me. I'm going to do some ninja muting of people. I tried to make it where when you guys get on, it automatically mutes, but Zoom gets so tricky. Found one. Okay, a lot of you. So Carol says, for sure, me. Yep, yes. Awesome. So, so a lot of us are on the same page with this. You know, I know for me, I felt like that too. I was like, man, I work a full-time job. I got kids. I don't have time to do this. I have all these debts, these student loans, and I would always say, like, adulting is so hard. You know, we finally get this amazing job, we're making decent money, and it feels like, man, like it's still not enough. So, you know, oftentimes that leads to just feelings of overwhelm and feeling like you're stuck. I know so many dietitians who end up feeling burnt out because maybe they're in a full-time job that they love and appreciate, but they're starting to feel burnt out because they're not able to live that lifestyle they want. They're not able to make enough money. Maybe they're not able to do something they're passionate about. So, you know, you guys who feel that way, you're absolutely not alone. That was one of the main reasons why I started my side hustle and my blog. So then my next question is for you guys is, who in here wants to learn more about how you can make money in your sleep without seeing patients? You might say, what is that? I'm going to talk to you guys about it. It's called passive income. Okay, I see all caps me. So that is a very serious me. So awesome. So, you know, that's one of the beauties of blogging that I'm going to be talking to you guys about today is you're able to build up streams of passive income. And I can tell you there's nothing better than waking up in the morning, checking my phone and seeing, oh my gosh, I made money and I didn't do anything. I mean, I did something ahead of time. You know, it's passive income doesn't mean free money. You do work up front, create systems. I'm going to talk about this, but even I checked my phone when I got off my full-time job and I had another sale. I had a sale last night when I slept. I woke up and I had sold a $97 course. So it's definitely something fun that you can do and is totally possible. So I guess my next question for you guys is this for me? So this webinar, the concept of blogging as a business is really for you if you really want to build out your dietitian dream. If you are feeling frustrated with continually trading time for money and still feeling broke, if you want a clear process and how all this blogging as a business stuff works. Now, I will say it's not for you if you're looking for a get rich quick thing, if you're unwilling to take massive action or aren't committed to trying something new. And we'll cover this as we go. But my question for you is, what is your dietitian dream? Meaning, like, when you became a dietitian, what is it that you wanted to do? What are those ideas that you have in your head that almost feel like you're too scared to say them out loud? They almost feel too big, too audacious. And it comes with my next question is, are you dreaming big enough? Because a lot of us have some ideas in our head and we don't even want to share them with people because we think, oh my gosh, that sounds too crazy. But, you know, I will tell you, I'm a believer that I think that all dietitians are capable of tackling their dreams. And I also think we need to be dreaming bigger. I had just spoken to a dietitian blogger who's in one of my programs. I interviewed her for a podcast, and I didn't know this about her, that she had been dreaming of starting a blog for 10 years before we even met. I was like, oh my gosh, 10 years of dreaming. And I was so glad now she's doing it. But, you know, what are these dreams that we have in our head? And the reality is that blogging is a wonderful way that we can pursue a lot of our dietitian dreams. And it is a low cost business, very low overhead for blogging. And it's something that anyone can tackle. So each and every one of you who are listening, I guarantee you can have success with blogging if you put in the commitment and learn all the strategies of what we're going to talk about today. So our goal today is that I want to walk you through my 3-step methodology that will help you gain clarity, focus, and direction so that you can learn about how you can blog as a business, bringing in multiple streams of income on your own time from the comfort of your own home without seeing patients. So you are going to leave today knowing with absolute certainty how dietitians can blog as a business, because the reality is that there are limitless opportunities for making money and impact as a dietitian online. A lot of the things I think everything we're going to cover today, we were not taught in school. I know I was not, but there are so many opportunities for us as dietitians online. But before we get started, I do want to have one last thing I want to ask you guys. So if we're going to have success together today, I really am going to need your guys' attention. I am going to need you guys to ask me questions. At the end, we will have an opportunity for Q&A. And I really want to serve you guys as much as I can on today's webinar. And I know that you guys are all going to walk away with some great ideas, information. And I know if you're able to use this information, it can truly impact your life. But I also know that some of you are going to want to get some additional support and help as we wrap up. So I promise at the end, I'm going to take a few minutes as we close to share some ways on how we can do some next steps and how I can continue to support you as we move forward. So is that okay with you guys? Let me know below. Okay. And I think I heard another open mic. I'm going to do a quick look through here. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I want to start off by telling you guys about my story. So I am a dietitian. I mentioned I work at the VA. I do a program called Home-Based Primary Care. And I got to tell you, I love my job. The VA is a great place to work. They pay dietitians well. They value dietitians. There's lots of job opportunities, amazing benefits, and I love my job. I never started a side hustle as like, oh my gosh, I don't like this. I want to do something else. I like my job. I just want to do something else. So I've been side hustling since 2014. I started, I kind of fell into side hustling by accident. I started doing freelance writing, editing, doing webinars. And I will tell you guys, with my side hustle, I had no interest in seeing patients. I saw patients in my full-time job, but I didn't want to do that outside of the full-time job. So I really didn't know what was possible until I continued to stumble into this entrepreneur world. So when I first started side hustling, I had very small goals compared to what my goals are now. My goal was, I want to make an extra $300 on the side, like $300 a month. That sounds good to me. That takes the cake. I'm happy with that. And I will tell you, I was spending a lot of my time and talents building someone else's dreams. So what do I mean by that? When I first started doing side hustling, I was doing freelance writing gigs. I was doing webinars. So I would essentially have a contract. I would do some work. It would take some of my time, some of my effort. I'd do the work. I would submit it to them and I get paid. And it's like awesome when you get paid, but then you don't get paid anymore for that. You know, that company is using whatever you're doing, writing, presenting, and they're using that to continue to build, grow, make more money, and grow and scale their own business. So by doing freelance work, while it was wonderful and paying me in the moment, I was really spending all this time and my talent, my energy building someone else's dream. And so what I realized and what I learned is when I blog as a business, I am building my own dreams. I am making money over and over and over again. And again, it's just something that I'm passionate about and I'm able to do. So that's the quick story of my journey. I've been blogging for 2 years. I'm going to talk to you guys in great detail about my blogging journey and the money, all the details that you guys want to know. But before we dive into that, I need to tell you guys more about how you actually make money blogging. Because if you're anything like me, a couple of years ago, I thought that a blog was something like a journal, like, you know, a little journal, like, you know, I drank some coffee yesterday, went for a hike, and your mom read it, your neighbor read it, you know, not a lot of people read it. I didn't realize that blogging is a legitimate business and way that you can make money. So as I explain this process, I'm going to really break down how to make money blogging in a very simple manner. I just feel like this is really easy to understand. So to make money, guys, you need 2 things. Number 1, you need something to sell. Number 2, you need someone to sell it to. Ooh. So 1 second, guys. I hear some feedback. Oh, I just asked someone to unmute. Sorry. Okay, you guys are quick with muting yourselves. Gotcha. Perfect. So to make money, 2 things. You need something to sell and someone to sell it to. And I will tell you guys, the easiest thing is to make something to sell. I feel like dietitians, we can make things to sell. We can make awesome handouts. We can create really cool like plans and just all kinds of things. We can make the thing to sell real easy. The hardest part is finding someone to sell it to. And that's where blogging comes in. So let me talk to you guys about something to sell. What are things that you actually sell through a blog? So these are some of the common things that you can sell with a blog. So selling ebooks. Now I sell ebooks, e-cookbooks, selling digital handouts. This could include like worksheets, patient education materials, toolkits, any digital type of handout or material to help someone. You can sell courses. You can have affiliate income where you are selling someone else's product or service and making a commission on that. You can have ads on your website and you make money through people seeing the ads on your website. You can also have sponsored content where you're working with a brand or a company featuring a different product or service or something and making some money off of that. And you could also do freelance work because as a blogger, you are out there in the public eye and seen as an expert in a specific area. And oftentimes people will want to work with you, have you write for them, speak for them, do different projects for them as a freelance contract worker. So these are some of the examples of how you can make money blogging, the something to sell part. Now, I want to talk about two different types of income, active income and passive income. Now, active income, I'm going to start with, and I think most people are familiar with this. Think of this as hourly pay for hourly work. This is like your full-time job, your part-time job. You work 40 hours a week, you get paid for 40 hours a week. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Now, I know a lot of you have vacation time that you'll get paid anyways, but if you didn't have vacation, if you didn't work, you wouldn't get paid. This would also include contract work. So if you are maybe a freelance writer, if you have a gig, you take the time, you write the paper, and then when you're done, you get paid, but then you're not getting paid again. So you're trading your time for money. That is active income. Passive income, on the other hand, is where you create something once. You create a system where you market it so that way it continues to get in front of lots of eyeballs, and then it sells on autopilot. So the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items here, the ones without stars, these are all forms of passive income. You make an e-cookbook once, you make an ebook once, you make a course once, you put it on your website and continue to sell it on autopilot. The last two are active income. So those do take a little bit of time, but depending on what you're doing, not a ton of time. So that was something to sell. The someone to sell it to. This is the more tricky part. So how do you find someone to sell to in an online world? Now, typically we have the blog, we can use social media, and we can use email marketing. But let me tell you guys about why I love blogging for finding someone to sell it to. So a blog article, if you have a blog, you have a bunch of articles on your blog, it is essentially something that comes up in an online search. So someone goes to Google, they type in a question, it brings up a bunch of blogs. So a blog article is simply something that comes up in an online search. So blogging is wonderful because it creates content that is evergreen, meaning it is online. And when people continue to search topics, it continues to bring up your article that you wrote day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Where when we think of social media or even sending an email, right? I sent you guys some emails today. That's going to be long gone in a couple days, right? If you saw any posts I made on social media, it's in your feed today, it's gone tomorrow. So we take all this effort to create amazing social media content, amazing email marketing content, but then it's one and done. We have to constantly create more content or reshare content for people to see it. Where if we create a blog, we create that article once and people continue to find it if we have the right strategy. So I will say that blogging is a long-term game. It can take anywhere from 6 to 9 months for Google, which is the main search engine, to even pick up a blog on the internet. But it is an amazing way to reuse content for years to come, bringing in massive traffic without posting every single day and getting burnt out. So I will tell you guys, when it comes to the balance between something to sell and someone to sell it to with blogging, it's all about timing. When you first start a blog, you have no audience. When you have no audience, it means no one is going to buy from you. So what should we focus on when we're first starting to blog? Something to sell or someone to sell it to? In the immediate, when you build a blog, you need to focus on building the audience. You need to build up your audience so you have someone to sell it to. Over time, you will strategically build income sources, the something to sell. And I will tell you guys too, oftentimes when someone starts a business, a blog, you might not even know what your audience really wants in the moment. But over time, if you listen, your audience will tell you what they want. I'll tell you my first product I sold on my website outside of digital goods was an e-cookbook called High Calorie Shakes. And I made it because my audience was asking for it. They asked, I made it, I continue to make money on it every single week. So the reality is we don't want to waste time creating products and services no one wants or is willing to buy. So when it comes to blogging, the whole point is to build up traffic. Once you have traffic, and then all of a sudden you have like people coming, they have problems. You know, if you can offer them something that they can buy that will solve their problems, that's how we make money. So let me show you guys how I make money through blogging with my website, The Geriatric Dietitian. Now, I love multiple streams of income. I'm not going to go into it too much, but the more streams of income we have, the better. They compound and build on each other over time. So you continue to make more money without adding more of your own time. So I'm going to walk you guys through how I make money. This is just kind of a, company and where I make money. The two faded out ones are ways that I generally don't do anymore because I'm primarily doing work for my own brand. But I'm going to show you guys this in a different way. So this is something I knew I made. I hope this is helpful for you guys. So my blog is just over 2 years old. I started it on June 29th, 2019. And what you're looking at here is my money timeline. So each dash mark represents 6 months. So first 6 months, next 6 months, next 6 months, next 6 months. And on the bottom, this is showing you all of the things that I am selling or ways that I'm making money. So when I first started, I was doing freelance writing and webinars through my side hustle. I was getting a little bit of passive income through people buying my paid webinars on demand. And when I started my website, I did have digital goods, so handouts that people could buy right away. Now you can kind of see I'm a quarterly kind of person. I like to add new things, like generally on a quarterly basis. But I ended up doing some work with brands or companies because they found me and saw, oh, the geriatric dietitian, and they needed work from a geriatric dietitian. So I had a really cool gig pretty early on. I made my first e-cookbook in my second, chunk of time. Then I made an ebook, another e-cookbook. I got ads on my website, which was a game changer, affiliate sales, and then a course I created. And I'm going to walk you guys through this a little bit deeper, but I want to show the picture that it's not a matter of just going to my website and saying, oh my gosh, she has so much traffic. She's making so much money. This is something that was built over time, long-term game. So this is how I made money in 2019. So I'm breaking it up in active income and passive income. I will say, I'm going to show you guys the slide in a little bit, but the orange color is passive income. The black color is active income. So I'm trading time for money or passive. So in 2019, I was primarily making my money through active income. When I started the blog, I had digital goods and made a little bit of money through selling on-demand webinars. Now in 2020, I added 2 new income sources, and you can see they are in blue. And that was, I did some interviews with people who were finding me through Google, and then also selling ebooks. And then in 2021, I added even more income sources. So having ads on my website, affiliate sales, and a course. And let me show you what the actual numbers look like. So this is a lot of information. I'm going to walk you through it. But what we're looking at is we are starting in the green box and we are going counterclockwise. And this is showing you actually how much passive income that I made through my blog in each 6-month chunk as I started. So when I first started, the first 6 months, I made $59 through selling digital goods. And I know that's not a lot of money, but it still felt really cool. Like I made these handouts and then I didn't touch them again. And I made like $60. So I thought it was cool. The next 6 months, I made even more money through digital goods handouts because more people were coming to my website. But then I made those ebooks and I started making money through that. So in the next 6 months, I made $744. Then to the next 6-month chunk, I continued to get more traffic. So even more money in digital goods and even more money in ebooks. So $2,000. And then in 2021, the next 6-month chunk was the game changer because I started making money through ads. So you guys can see I made, I made way more money in digital goods. My ebooks continued to make a lot of money. Ads was a really good source of income. Affiliate sales is a small chunk of change, but I'll take it. And then courses. So you could see in the last 6 months, I made just over $15,000. So I'm going to come back to that in a different way of looking at it in just a second. But I want to talk to you guys about where people are finding me. So the data we're looking at is the 24 months of my blog. So my blog is a couple years older than that now, but I'm sharing you guys the data of the first 2 years. So where people are finding me is primarily Google. This graph right here is showing you guys my traffic on my website, The Geriatric Dietitian. I mentioned that blogging is a long-term game. It can take anywhere from 6 to 9 months for anyone to even find your website because Google, the main search engine, doesn't rank you until that point. So you can see right here on the 9-month mark, my website started to grow. It grew and grew and grew. Christmas happened. It's kind of weird. We'll see what happens this year, but it kept on going and has continued to climb. I am getting about 110,000 sessions per month. It's actually closer to 120 right now. On Instagram, I have a little over 3,000 followers. On Facebook, around 2,000, and Pinterest. It sounds fancy, the monthly viewers, but that doesn't mean much other than if you're scrolling Pinterest, you might see my posts. And then email marketing, I have about 1,000 people, but most of my audience is coming through Google and people finding me on search engines. So let's look back at my money timeline again. You can see, each 6-month chunk, all the things that I've made to sell over time. The orange is passive income. First 6 months, I made $59. Next 6 months, I made $774. Next 6 months, I made $2,000. And then the last 6 months, I made $15,493. Now let's look at this a different way. This is looking at the last 6 months, or I guess I should say the first 6 months of 2021. So this was all made through my, the passive income through my blog. And if we break down the median salary for a dietitian, we know that through the Academy's Comp and Benefit Survey, that's about around $33 per hour. So the $15,000 that I made in passive income in 6 months, it would have taken me, if I was trading time for money, it would have taken me 569 hours total, roughly 78 hours per month or 20 hours per week. So that would mean that if I wanted to make this extra income, I would be working an extra 20 hours per week outside of my full-time job, away from my kids, my family, my life, doing all these things to make this exact same money that I made completely passively, meaning I was not trading time for money. So I'm sharing this all so you guys can see the picture of how blogging is a long-term game. But if you're willing to stick with it, it has massive rewards because this passive income comes in month after month after month. Passive income offers you time freedom. You get your time back. You're able to do what you want what you want. You guys know what I'm saying. It also offers you financial freedom. I will say this extra income has been a massive blessing for my family. And then it also gives you clinical freedom, but in the sense of within your own business, when you're blogging as a business, you get to do what you want to do, but you also don't have to do what you don't want to do. You know, when you're working for someone else, you have to do everything. Even if it's not something you love, you still got to do it anyways. So that's the beauty of like having a blog. I can do whatever I want. If I don't want to do something, I don't have to do it. Outside of paying taxes, you know, everyone's got to do that, but I have a lot more freedom because it's my business and I'm the boss. So I did want to share with you guys one more graphic. I do share a passive income report on social every month. And this one I just made today. And this is just showing how much passive income I made in August through the blog. And I made $3,455 in 1 month in passive income. Again, not trading time for money. So I hope that this was so helpful for you guys to show you a picture of what this looks like and how you actually make money blogging. But I want to tell you guys what I've learned over the last few years. I have learned that our greatest limitation is ourselves. You know, I mentioned each and every one of you can do this. You guys can blog, you guys can make money blogging, you know, all this fun stuff. And the biggest limitation is going to be your own mind, the blocks that you put up thinking, oh, I can't do this. You know, okay, Katie had success, but I can't do this. Our greatest limitation is ourselves. We're either going to spend our time building our dreams or someone else's. It takes significant investments to make money. And when I'm talking about investments, I'm not talking about money. That's part of it, but I will say that's almost the easiest investment. Anyone can pay money for something, but it also takes investment of your time, of your energy, of your focus. It takes a lot to commit to something like this. You also have to think and act like a business owner, blogging, not as a hobby, but as a business. You have to be willing to take action and be imperfect. That was a struggle for me in the beginning. And then finally, I've learned that there are limitless opportunities online. And then finally, I learned that it was really my own mindset and my obliviousness in how to build a business were holding me back from making my biggest dreams come true and have the ability to make massive impact in this world. And I will tell you, being able to reach over 100,000 people every month through my blog is such an amazing blessing. I think in my traditional job, I probably wouldn't see that many people in my entire career. So to be able to make an impact on this level has been very phenomenal. So my question for you guys, what is holding you back from your biggest dreams and the ability to make massive impact? And I'm looking here, Carol's asking, am I showing a slide? I hope you can see my slides. Can you guys comment if you could see my slides? And I think we have another. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Okay, I think we have one mic open. Ooh, we have two. I'm muting you guys. No worries. I'm getting this down. Okay, Michelle shares that her the thing holding her back is not knowing where to start. Not knowing where to start. Well, I'm going to tell you guys where to start. I'm going a little longer, so I'm going to try to speed up. I just get so excited talking about this stuff. But go ahead and comment below, actually, your greatest takeaway about what I just talked about. Was this surprising to you? Were you like, oh, yeah, I knew that? Or were you like, oh, crap, I didn't know that you could actually make that much money through blogging, or I didn't know it took so long. So go ahead and let me know your greatest takeaway. Awesome. So Cole says, got to get out of school first. Then it's a matter of finding the time. It'll come faster than you know, Cole. let's see, Michael, feeling like the learning curve to blog is substantial. It is a big learning curve, but you can do it. It's there's lots of resources out there to help you. Let's see, not knowing SEO. Oh, the comments are going faster for me now. Time. Yes, making money through ads is super interesting. Yes, Kate, you can, it's amazing how fast it compounds. It's a long-term game, but if you're willing to, I don't know if you guys listen to the Hamilton soundtrack or have ever seen the Hamilton musical, but there's the song Wait For It. And it's like totally not about business. If you know what it's about, it's not about that. But there's the song that says, I'm willing to wait for it. And I listened to that song so many times when I was blogging because I was like, I'm willing to wait for it. I know it's possible. Okay, guys. So thank you for responding. So I want you guys just to take a quick moment to just imagine that it's 1 to 2 years from the future. And, you know, you're looking back and you're in this place where you are achieving these dreams that you have. You are making money, you're making impact, and you're living the dreams that you always wanted. And this is totally possible, you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. We are now, after all my long story, ready to dive into, you know, learning how to blog as a business, bringing in multiple streams of income on your own time from the comfort of your own home without seeing patients. And this little pyramid here I made is just kind of just to show where different people are in the stage of blogging. So I have kind of like dietitian language, like RD to B. So I have at the bottom is the blogger to be. So this is the dietitian or intern who wants to start a blog and create passive income streams, but they're unsure of their niche or even how to get started. Next, we have the blogger. So this is someone who actually has a blog. They've hit publish, but they're still trying to figure out, like, how do I actually grow this blog and make people actually find it online? Up top, you have the blog employee. So this is someone who's making money and they're continuing to grow and scale with more passive income. But I say the blog employee because they're still putting in a lot of hours into their blog. They're still working for their blog. But at the very top, we have the blog boss. And this is someone who has a successful blog with multiple streams of income. They're now working less and making more. So how you move up the pyramid, if you're a blogger to be, you got to discover your path, learn how to blog. From there, if you're a blogger, you need to learn how to actually grow the blog. You need to build up multiple streams of income. From there, you need to have motivation, consistency, community, support, people to help you stay on track. You need to be able to automate, systemize, and hire people as applicable. And then at the top, I think that we always grow and invest in ourselves. There really is no limit, but I'm not sure where you guys are on the pyramid, but if you guys can identify, like, where am I on this pyramid and where do I want to be? And I hope you guys all want to be at the top, be blog bosses. So let's talk about some dietitian problems that hold them back from blogging or things that can get in the way. And we're going to kind of reverse and talk about these kind of in a different way. But some of the biggest problems for dietitians starting is, number one, they don't know what they want to do. That could be the niche. What is the topic I'm going to write about? And they just don't know how to make money through blogging. Number two, they don't know how to do it. The tech struggle is real. They don't know the strategy. They don't have the business skills. And when you take number one and number two, you don't know what to do and how to do it. You add that with perfectionism, and that leads to overwhelm and inaction, meaning you do nothing. So let's talk about the 3 steps to start. And I'm breaking it down very easily. We're going to talk about discover, develop, and do it. So looking at those dietitian problems in a different way, the 3 steps to start. Number 1, discover, meaning discover what you want to do. Learn what's possible, uncover your niche. Number 2, develop, learn how to do it. Learn how to build, grow, and act like a CEO of your blog business. And then do it, overcome what makes you stuck, take imperfect action. So we're going to walk through each of these steps with number 1 being discover. So the problem here is you just don't know what you want to do. You know, as dietitians, we have so many things that we can do. Sometimes it's hard to pick because, like, you know, this field is so diverse. Like, what am I actually going to focus on? If I was to blog, what would my topic be? So what you need to do if at the discover phase is you need to learn what's possible. Now, I hope that over the last few minutes, you guys learned a lot of, oh, that's what's possible. And then you need to discover your passion. Like, if I could blog about anything long-term, what is it that I would, blog about? And then you got to pick your path. So ultimately you need to make a decision and then take action. One thing to remember, you're not married to your niche. I think a lot of people feel like that way. I'm going to be pigeonholed forever. So they just don't take action because they feel stuck. You could always pivot. So I want to talk to you guys. We can probably do like a whole hour training on uncovering your niche. But if I was to break it down in 3 steps, 3 things to think about, we're going to do this now. And I'm going to ask you guys to share about what you think you would blog about in just a minute. So be thinking about this. So uncovering your niche, if we broke it down super easy, the first thing is think about, what are you good at? So what do you already do? I mentioned I'm a home care dietitian. I work with older adults. I've been doing this for 13 years. What is your specialty? I specialize in geriatrics. I'm a board certified specialist in gerontological nutrition, and I'm really good at helping people gain weight. That is my jam. And then the next piece is what comes easy to you. I will say a lot of people think that work should be hard. And if it comes easy to me, I shouldn't do that. But if it comes easy to you, oftentimes that's an indication that's what you should do. You know, if it comes easy and it doesn't feel like work, that's the best kind of work, guys. So what are you guys good at? From there, what are you passionate about? Meaning dream big. Some of you are working in a job out of convenience, or maybe you love it, but it's not like your passion, right? So think of if you can do anything, what would it be? And the sky is the limit. And then finally, what do people want or need? So do the market research, ask people. It can be super simple. Sometimes we overcomplicate things. You just ask people, ask a question on social. And I will say, don't be afraid to niche down. Sometimes people worry if I get too focused, I'm going to miss out on all these other people I could talk to. They want to blog about general nutrition. And in general, I don't recommend doing that. You should be focused on what you're writing about, because the reality is if you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. You know, the more niche down you can get is actually better. And with the internet, you have access to millions and billions of people. It is crazy. There really is opportunity for everyone. So I know this was kind of fast for you guys to think of your niche, but I want you guys to share. If you had a blog, like if I had asked you right now, we're going to push publish, what would your niche be? What would you blog about? Let me know. Ooh, Leanne says culinary nutrition, meal prep for weight loss. Kieran says, I want to write a heart healthy e-cookbook and start a heart healthy blog. Awesome. Janine, I just entered my senior year and blog about my experience. Budget nutrition. Awesome. We'll keep them coming. Oh, they're coming. Easy meals for students. Oh, that's a good one. Pediatric nutrition and breastfeeding. Brandy is a dietitian and an IBCLC. Awesome. Eating disorders, CKD nutrition, optimizing heart health after cancer treatment. Oh, that's a good one, Kate. See, that is very niche down, and that's good. Emily, functional and integrative nutrition. Awesome, guys. I'm glad that your wheels are churning, that you guys are thinking. So that's really the first step, is you have to figure out, what am I actually going to blog about? From there, you need to develop. And so the second problem is not knowing what to do. So the solution is you need to learn how to build that darn blog. You need to learn how to grow the blog, and you need to learn business skills. So we're going to do a quick run through on these three things, recognizing there's a lot more to learn, but we're just going to go over the basics. So when it comes to building a blog, building a website is, it's just a website with a blog section with articles. I use blog and website interchangeably. But when it comes to building a blog, the best way to do it, if you want to grow a blog that is really fast and can be found online and you can make money on, especially with ads, I highly recommend creating a website on what's called wordpress.org. That means a self-hosted website. So I'm not talking about making a blog on Wix, on Squarespace, on wordpress.com, some of those pre-made easy blog builders. There's a lot of limitations on what we can do with those. And that's not generally where we would create a blog if we were intending to monetize it. So it's a little confusing when we talk about a self-hosted blog. So I'm going to break it down in 6 steps and make it real easy for you guys to understand. So I want you guys to think about building a house. That is what we're doing. We're thinking of our blog as a home on the internet. So the first thing, if you're going to build a blog, you need to create a domain name, the URL. So for me, that's the geriatric dietitian. So think of this as the street address on the internet. It tells people where to find your website. So once you have a domain, I buy all mine through Google Domains. It's $12 a year. They're super cheap. Next, you need somewhere, like you need a plot of land. You need to secure a website host. So a website host is the land where your website lives on the internet. So, you know, we think of the internet as this nebulous cloud, but the reality is there are real servers, and you actually have to purchase your space on the internet for your website to live. So I recommend, when I first started, I used SiteGround as a website host. Once you have your street address, you have a plot of land, you need a house, right? So the third thing you need is a content management system, and this is wordpress.org. So this is a free thing that you add, and think of this as the frame of your home. So it's the space, it's the rooms that your content will be arranged in. From there, you don't want to have a bare bones house. You need to pick a theme. This is where you select the look and feel of your website. So you now have this welcoming, beautiful home on the internet. You've got the address, you've got the plot of land, the frame, and it looks super pretty. But you're not done. From there, you need to learn SEO, search engine optimization. We're going to talk about that next. You have to learn this so that people can find you on the internet. Think of it like the phone book. We want people to be able to find you, if you guys remember a phone book. And then finally, the last part is planning out your content. Now that you have this website home, you need to be a good host, plan out quality content, and post consistently. So this is just the breakdown, and I hope that this kind of paints a good picture for you guys about if you were to build a blog, what it would look like. And there's lots of different resources you would use. I mentioned you buy the URL, or at least I do, at Google Domains. I use SiteGround as a host. WordPress.org is totally free. And then Astra is the theme that I use. I started with the free version. I moved to the paid one, but it's a super fast, great theme. And there's some other resources I'll talk about later for building a website. So once you have a website, you got to grow it. So there are two ways to grow your website online. Number one is SEO. That stands for search engine optimization. Number two is by chance. And you guys could probably take a guess on which one I'm going to recommend. So 100%, I recommend SEO. And I always add by chance because there's a lot of people who never implemented SEO tactics and grew their website. I will say it's a lot harder to do now than it was back in the day, but I just don't recommend doing anything by chance. And if you're not learning SEO, you are essentially wasting your time. You're creating this amazing content on the internet that no one is going to find. So this part is absolutely something you have to do. So what is search engine optimization? This is just a definition from Google or from Oxford Dictionary. So it's the process of maximizing the number of visitors to a particular website by ensuring that the site appears high on the list of search results returned by a search engine. So there's a sentence: the key to getting more traffic lies in integrating content with search engine optimization and social media marketing. So essentially, SEO is just the strategy that we use. So when people search things online, it brings up our websites, people click on them and go to it. So here's some stats on SEO. We know that about 93% of people actually go online through search engines. Now, oftentimes we got our phone, we search for something like, the directions or a recipe or the weather, like we use our phones a lot. So 93% of people go online through a search engine. And when you're searching something on a search engine, it's bringing up blog articles generally. That's what it's pulling up. And there's 10 spots on the first page of Google, and you click on whichever one looks the best. So 90% of search engine users use Google. So that's why you'll hear me talk about Google all the time, because that is, where most people are finding their content. And the number 2 search engine is actually YouTube, and that is also owned by Google. So the third piece to know is that 75% of people never scroll past the first page of Google. So I want you to think about what you do. If you search something on Google and you scroll down and nothing looks good, do you go to the next page? Maybe you do, but I think most of us go back to the little search bar and we clarify our search query. We change what we're looking for. So if we are creating content, we want to make sure that it's being pulled up on the first page of Google so people will actually click on it. So this is a really interesting, it's a Google click-through rate per ranking. And this is showing when you Google any topic, there are 10 items. And we know that 28% of people will click on the first thing that Google shows. And then you can see it just continues to go down. So not only do we want our article to show up on the first page of Google, we really want the coveted number 1 spot. So I'm just going to show you guys this graphic to show you how SEO strategy works. We just don't have time to go into all the tactics. It is quite complex, but very doable. This is showing the data on my website, The Geriatric Dietitian. In January of 2020, I had 713 sessions. Think of a session like someone coming to my website. Now, I will tell you, in that January, I thought that was cool. I'm like 713 people I don't even know. I thought it was amazing. But fast forward just 1 year, I had 105,000 sessions. So this is the power of SEO. You are able to grow and build up massive traffic, and it can happen very fast. So finally, blog business skills. I keep talking about this. Treat blogging as a business and not as a hobby. And this is something I think really important that's often overlooked, is making sure that we are implementing business skills, thinking and acting like a CEO, setting audacious goals, meaning you're visionary, you know the direction of where you're going, you know how many visitors you want, you know how you want to make income, you know when you're going to do it. Have a strategic plan. So not only where I want to be, but how do I get there? What are the steps you're going to take? You have to build confidence and take massive action. You have to be willing to invest in your business and yourself. And again, investments aren't just money, it's time, it's effort, it's, all the things. You need to make sure that you're taking advantage of Tax deductions. I will tell you that's the coolest thing about being a business, all my tax write-offs. So always work with a good accountant. And then you also have to be willing to risk and take imperfect action. So you guys go ahead and comment and let me know, what are your greatest barriers to starting a blog? So we talked about several things, but what's your biggest barrier? Is it building the website? Is it the SEO? Is it the business skills or something else? Cole says, finding my niche. That one can take some time to narrow that down. But my biggest advice is just pick it and roll with it. And you could always tweak and change it later. So not being tech savvy. Yes. Getting the hang of SEO. Absolutely. Time is tight right now. Mother of 2 young ones plus working part-time. How to start? Look at a blank page. Okay. Tech, getting started. Okay. So these are great. So go ahead and keep them coming. And so we're on to step number 3, which is do it. So when we take our final problem, you don't know what to do. You don't know how to do it. You add perfectionism. Well, guys, that leads to overwhelm and inaction. So the solution, first off, working on your mindset, letting go of perfectionism and taking massive action. We really have to learn to let go, take massive action, be willing to be imperfect, and surround ourselves by community who will help us get there. Surround yourself by people who are going to believe in you enough until you're able to have that belief yourself. So I'm going to talk about a lot of these components here because they really are so important. And I actually will say this is probably the most important part of starting a blog, even though it sounds like it has nothing to do with a blog. So I want to talk to you guys about mindset. So one of my business coaches says, with everything in life, it's 80% psychology, 20% mechanics. What does that mean? The 20% mechanics is what you do. It's being a dietitian. It's being a blogger. It's a thing you do. The 80% is the mindset of what you believe you can do, of what you think you're capable of. And I will tell you, the longer I've been in this game, I really believe with everything in business, it is 99% mindset and 1% work. So I'm reading a book right now by Napoleon Hill. He writes amazing books, but he shares your only limitation is the one which you set up in your own mind. So isn't that true? So many times we are the ones that hold ourselves back. We have these limitations, but if we are able to recognize that, no, I'm holding up this limitation, I am capable of doing everything, then really the sky is the limit and anything is possible. So we have to work on removing our limiting beliefs. And that starts with understanding what are our limiting beliefs. Now they can be conscious or unconscious. And it takes a lot of mindset work to kind of sort through, like, what is holding me back? What is this block? What is it that like why I think I can't do this? So this part sounds a little cheesy, but I really believe it to be true, is that what you believe you will achieve. And that is either positive or negative. So if you believe that you could do amazing things, then I know you will achieve it. If you think negative thoughts like, I can't do it, this is too hard, I don't have enough time, then that's probably also what your result's going to be. You'll achieve that as well. So Napoleon Hill also says, be careful what you set upon your heart, for it will surely come true, whether or not that's something positive or something negative. So the best thing that I will say that each and every one of you could do right now is working on your mindset, because it will determine your success. So now I have a Mary Poppins quote, anything is possible, even the impossible. And if you guys want to jot down some notes here, these are 2 books I would highly recommend if you guys want to start working on your mindset. Napoleon Hill's book, Outwitting the Devil, and Carol Dweck's book, Mindset. I actually listened to them both on Audible, which is audiobooks. And I purchased the hard copy of Outwitting the Devil, and I'm reading that now, and I'm ordering Mindset because they're really good. So let's talk about expecting greatness. Moving forward, long after we get off this webinar, I want you guys to move forward, whether or not it's blogging or whatever you do in your business, expecting greatness. So expectation, this is a concept by Myron Golden. He's an amazing business coach. And he talks about when it comes to expectation, it's all about outcomes. What do we think is going to happen with something? Now, we might think that something is going to be good or bad. Now, if we are expecting an undesirable outcome, what does that lead to? It causes anxious apprehension. We're like, oh, I'm so nervous. I'm scared because I think this horrible thing's going to happen. Or on the flip side, if we are expecting a good outcome, it leads to joyful expectation. Like, I know this is going to work. I can't wait for this to work. I know this is possible. So looking at the expectation of undesirable, leading to that anxious apprehension, the reality is when this is happening, anxiety stops us in our tracks. And then we end up wasting present energy on future outcomes that may never come to pass. But where does this anxiety typically stem from? It typically stems from perfectionism. So perfectionism is something that a lot of dietitians identify with. And actually, if you identify with being a perfectionist, go ahead and comment me below, because I think a lot of dietitians, myself included, struggle with perfectionism. And I will tell you, I used to wear perfectionism as a badge of honor. I was actually kind of proud of it for a while until I learned that perfectionism is actually a weakness because it leads to paralysis. It gets us stuck in our tracks. But I wanted to let you guys know that you do not have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. And I want to encourage each and every one of you to strive for imperfection. Done is better than perfect. You know, the most perfect thing in the world, if you never get it out in the world, it doesn't serve anyone. Done is better than perfect. You can go back, you can tweak, you can pivot, you can make it better over time. But I just want to encourage each and every one of you to get rid of that badge of honor of perfectionism. And I've got a new badge for you. It's the imperfectly perfect badge. And I just want to encourage each and every one of you to be imperfectly perfect. And look at you guys. Yes, we are all, I'm a recovering perfectionist. It still creeps in. The struggle is real. I feel like a dietitian trait. I very seldom find a dietitian or intern who is not a perfectionist. So let's talk about the mindset to start when it comes to blogging. Really, you need to not be busy, but you need to be focused. You need to have a concrete idea of what your future will look like, the path of how to get there. You have to be willing to forgo perfectionism, let go of anxiety and ego, take imperfect action, and pursue your dreams relentlessly. So you guys, who is with me? Are you guys ready to let go of perfectionism and take action? Let me know. Yes, ma'am. Woohoo. Awesome, guys. So, wow. Actually, let me go back here. So you guys, what time is it? It is Wednesday, September 1st at 6:23. We've been on this call for about 50 minutes now. And man, we have covered a lot of stuff today. I talked about my story, how we can make money blogging. I talked about these 3 steps to start, from discovering what you want to do, developing like how to do it, and then doing it, overcoming what makes you stuck. And I really hope that you feel inspired and that you've been able to take a lot of value from today's webinar. So you guys, let's look at your next steps. I know this is a lot of stuff. This was a 1-hour webinar. I gave you the overview, but there's still some things you can do right after this webinar to move forward and get started. So you guys essentially learned what was possible and the 3 steps that you need to take to get there. So let's take a look at the roadmap of what's next and how you're going to get results. So remember, after this, oh, wait, I think I can drop some links in the, I'm going to drop a few links for you guys. That's why I wanted to be on my phone. Just 1 second. Oh yeah. I'm going to drop a link, 4 links. I'm going to drop a link for a program I'm going to talk to you guys about in a minute. I'm going to talk to you guys about a link for if you want to chat with me on a call, the blogging checklist, and the webinar notes. So it's all there, but I'm going to email you. So those of you who are live can go ahead and like start clicking on those and then check them out later. No, we're not quite done yet. So this is a checklist that you could actually go through, print it out. It's also like electronic, so you can like click the buttons and fill it out. But I really want all of you guys to, complete this, where you write under discover, fill out, what am I good at? What am I passionate about? What do I want? What do people want, need? And then, decide here's what I want to blog about. And then here's the things we talked about learning, and some articles where you could learn more to really start that journey of learning. And then also addressing what's the greatest barrier I need to overcome. For imperfect action, it's really assessing like, what's my level of self-belief on a scale of 1 to 10, and taking an honest reflection of this. Because if you recognize you have a low level of self-belief, meaning I know I can do this and have success, then that's something you're going to have to work on before you ever start a blog. What you're expecting. I want you guys to write greatness. I want you guys to expect greatness. And then some dates. I think it's very powerful when we write dates. So I want to develop my skills by, meaning, you'll learn this stuff by this date. I'm going to build my website by this date. I'm going to promote my website, so let people know it exists, by this date. And then just commit to letting go and taking imperfect action. So you guys, I want to make sure that we use the momentum of today, and I want you guys to keep going. You guys showed up today for a reason. Maybe you were looking for, how to make more money, to get back your time, to live the life you want, or even just to get back to loving being a dietitian again. So think about what has gotten in your way in the past when it came to pursuing your dreams. And has it been like a lack of a clear plan, a lack of implementation, a lack of support? So, just go ahead and reflect on that and make sure that you complete this blogging checklist. So I'm going to check our comments. And you guys, we are getting close to the end. And remember how I promised that I'd take a few minutes at the end to go over how those of you who want some additional support can get some help. So is it okay if we go over that now, guys? I'm getting parched from all this talking. Okay. Oh, I see a direct message there. Yes, awesome. Okay, so if you guys are 100% serious about wanting to start a business based on blogging, then I do have a program for you. It is my Blogging Accelerator program. I know some of you are probably familiar with it, but I'm going to go over it quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time, but this is for those of you who are like 100%, Katie, I want to do this. I want in. So this program is for the blogger to be and the blogger. Remember this pyramid? So you can maybe you have no idea what you want to do. Maybe you have an idea of what you want to do, or maybe you even have a blog and you're just not making money. So if that's you, this is a program that would be a great fit for you. Who it is not for is someone who is already making money through blogging. Like you're already making a good chunk of money, then you probably don't need it. It isn't for anyone who's looking to get rich quick. You guys saw my timeline. It was a slow climb, totally worth it, but it's a slow climb. It's not for anyone who's not willing to be imperfect and take action. It's okay if you're a perfectionist, but you have to be committed to breaking that. It's not for someone who isn't willing to invest in themselves and not just money, but mostly their time. And it's probably not for someone who totally hates writing. If you don't like writing, maybe blogging isn't in your cards. Although I will say you can talk into a phone or to a microphone and transcribe those words and then edit the transcription. So you can like talk and then have it written for you. So anyways, oops, stop sharing my video. So essentially this pyramid that I showed before on how you move up the pyramid, this is what my Blogging Accelerator program is. I go through the blog monetizer method on how to kind of move you up that pyramid. And I'm going to go over each week. It's an 8-week program. And I think that this will be a good picture for you guys of what the program looks like. So the Blogging Accelerator program is a 2-month program, 8 weeks total, and we're looking at 5 to 7 hours per week. I got a full-time job, 2 kids, and a life outside of my side hustles. So it was very important for me to build a program that doesn't take a ton of time. It's very much based on, here's what you need to know, now go do it. It's very action-based. In the first week, it's all about discover. You're going to leave that week with a focused niche, brand, and understanding of business basics. In week 2, it's the week of build, and you are going to have a live website ready to monetize by the time that week is done. If you already have a website, there's an audit that you will go through and make sure that your website is optimal and ready for, for SEO essentially. Week 3 is all about learning. You're going to leave that week learning the basics of growing your blog, SEO. In week 4, I call it finding the gold. You will leave this week with a list of topics to create blog posts about for your first year of blogging. In week 5, it's all about create. You'll be creating confidence and creating more content in less time. So essentially I go over like how to create a blog, how to build more confidence, and how to make more time, because we all need that. And in that week, you will create your first blog article. Week 6 is the week of nurture, and you will begin building your audience online. Week 7 is the week of dream, and that is where you will build out a list of products and services that you're going to create as you build your brand. And then in week 8, you will have a strategic plan moving forward with confidence, excitement, determination, and tenacity. So you guys, this is the program. Again, I'm not going to go over it in too much detail because we could chat on the phone if you're super interested, but this is essentially what it's made up of. It's an 8-week online program. It is self-paced. It includes tools, templates, and resources. Essentially everything I've created on my blogging journey, I'm giving to you guys because I want to make you guys get there faster, have less frustration. Just, why reinvent the wheel? I want to make it super easy. You have lifetime access to our members only Facebook group. This is an amazing community of dietitians who will build up and encourage you as you go on your journey of blogging. You have access to my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course, which comes with a workbook and journal. My fast track blog builder course, which takes all of the confusion out of building a blog so that you can have your website without all the tech frustration. You will be listed on our nutrition blog directory. Now, this is a directory on my Dietitian Side Hustle website of trusted websites of people who are in the program. You have access to our live Q&A group calls every month. And then you also have access to the affiliate program. You go through the program, you love it, you recommend your peers, and you would make a commission, and you have automatically your next stream of income. And then finally, you have access to an ever-growing bonus section where I'm always adding new stuff. So if I were to summarize the Blogging Accelerator program, I would say this program is designed to help you stop dreaming and start doing. It provides the step-by-step how-to. It provides you accountability and support. You are taking imperfect action and building your brand. So I do want to talk to you guys about some webinar bonuses I'm offering. One of these is totally new and I'm really excited to present it to you guys. But if you guys end up joining this program, if you're like, yeah, Katie, this is for me. If you join this program, or you even just schedule a call so we can hop on a call just to chat about it. If you do this by Sunday, then you are going to get these two bonuses. Number one is a website review. It would be a 30-minute Zoom call with me, one-on-one, where we would go over the website once you build it. And I would give you individualized advice on how to, tweak it, make it better, just kind of an audit of your website. And the next piece I'm really excited about. So this is a $200 cash bonus opportunity. Let me explain to you guys what this means. Now, my current business coach has done this incentive program, which has been so cool. He's essentially paying you to do the work. So if you were to sign up for the program, you'd be doing it because you'd want to create a blog. You'd want to have this path to build income, right? Like it's something you'd want to do regardless. But what better incentive of knowing, hey, I can make some money doing this. So these are the rules. They are super strict. I have no exceptions, no excuses, no waivers. And the reason I'm doing this, I've never done this before. I don't know if I'm going to do it again, but I'm doing this as a way to help you guys get the work done. If you join, it means, hey, I really want to do this. So this is a way to help you to, actually commit to it, knowing that, hey, if I do this, I'm going to get paid some money. So I'm going to get it done. So it helps you. It's a really cool thing I'm trying. I hope it works. So you guys are going to be my beta, my test group for anyone who signs up. So essentially what you have to do, you would have to complete the entire program within 8 weeks of registering. That's what you're supposed to do anyways. So it keeps you on track. You would have to watch 100% of the videos and do all of the Facebook assignments. You would have to provide a written or video program review. So that would help me. And then just send me an email confirming, hey, I did it. And then you would get sent $200 via PayPal. So again, this is something new we're trying out, but I'm super excited about it. So going over the program again, remember the 8-week online course that is self-paced. You do it on your own time. Tools and resources, lifetime access to the Facebook group, access to my coaching course, workbook, journal, the fast track blog builder course, the directory, the Q&A calls, like all of the things. It's almost a $17,000 value. But when you sign up, it is only $1,997. So I did drop the link. Remember, I dropped all those links. There's a link in there. And if you are, watching the replay, it's going to be in the email that I'm sending you. So if you guys are like, yes, I want in, go ahead and sign up. Or if you want to hop on a call, we could do that too. So if you guys are ready, if this sounds interesting to you, then you can sign up by visiting the link that I dropped. I'll send it in the email too. If you're on the fence, if you're like, okay, Katie, this sounds cool, but I'm not too sure, then let's schedule a free strategy session. We'll hop on a Zoom call together and chat for 15 minutes. And if you decide that you want to buy, awesome. If not, then you'll at least have some more clarity in what you want to do. So if you want to learn more and also lock in those bonuses, then I want you to click on the link that I shared below and complete the application process. It's just a brief application to make sure, we're on the same page and just to make the most out of our time together since it's short. And, if you're able to do that right when we hop off the call, that would be awesome. So I do have limited spots for calls. So, you do want to act fast with this, but know if you schedule that call, if you schedule it by Sunday, you will lock in those bonuses. So if we're on the call and you're like, yeah, I really think I want to do this, you will still have access to those 2 webinar bonuses. And I do want to add this. I added this last minute. So for anyone who's like, yes, Katie, I'm 100% in and you register tonight, I'm going to mail you a copy of the Get Time Planner. Now, this is a planner that my business coach created. I use this myself every single day. It is really how I'm able to do all the things. So anyone who signs up tonight is going to get this sent to them. I'll mail it to you with a note. So really quickly, just some words on what our bloggers have to say. This is some of our students who've been through the program. We've had over 60 dietitians, I think, probably close to 70 now, dietitians through the program. So Sunui shared that it was a great source of information support. She recommends the course if you want to see results. Grace shares that she loved all the checklists and that everything was kept simple. And let's see, that provided encouragement, kept her on track, resources she needed to succeed. So this is some more screenshots of dietitians when they finished the program. People were just sharing how excited they were to be part of the community, how helpful the resources were. And, someone sharing like, gosh, I wouldn't have done this on my own. Thank you so much. And, it feels so good to have embraced Imperfectly Perfect and get it done. And if you do want to see more reviews, there's some videos on my website too, if you want to hear from more dietitians who've been through the program. So you guys, we are coming to the end. So if you want to join, I guess I'm going to take a step back. I'm talking too fast. 1 second. I want to share with you guys my dream. So my dream, guys, why am I doing this? Why am I teaching dietitians how to blog? Why do I have a program where I help dietitians how to blog? You guys, my dream is that I want to help dietitians become bloggers so that every time someone searches a nutrition related topic online, it pulls up an article written by a registered dietitian. So that 2 reasons. The public gets the correct information. How many times do our clinical peers deal with 10 minutes of helping, people, comb through all that incorrect nutrition information? I want the public to get correct information. And number 2, I want to see that it's the dietitian who's making money. You guys just saw a snapshot, and I hope that gives you a good picture of how all these bloggers online are making massive money. And a lot of these people are talking about nutrition and they just happen to eat food, right? So the public is going to get correct information. The dietitians are going to make money. And you guys, there is so much money to be made online. So remember, I've got some emails coming to you. As soon as this is done, downloading, I'm going to upload it, add it to the email. I'm going to send you your webinar notes. I'm going to send you the blogging checklist, which I really want you guys to complete today, and you will have access to the replay. So we covered a lot, right, guys? So I hope that you guys now have more clarity and certainty as what is possible with blogging. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Let's go ahead and take over the online space and start treating blogging as a business. So this is the end of my presentation, and I want to open it up for any questions that you guys have about blogging as a business. So I'm going to stop sharing. And if any of you who are still on have questions, you can go ahead and type them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. It could be about anything we chatted about, or anything. I'll answer anything. Let me see. Brandy, what is your favorite site to use to develop a website? So I kind of mentioned how I use WordPress.org. So I use WordPress.org with SiteGround for a site host. My domain is through Google Domains, and I use a theme called Astra. So I develop and design it all myself as a self-hosted website. I hope that answered your question. And again, if you guys have questions, you can unmute yourself. And it could be questions about blogging, about my brand, about the program I presented to you guys. Thank you guys for staying on. Any tips for starting a blog as a student or not yet an RD? So I mentioned that blogging is a long-term game. So I actually think for any students who are interested in blogging, now is the best time to start a blog. I think sometimes there's this concern of like, oh my gosh, I'm not a dietitian yet. Can I start a blog? Yeah, you can. There's so many people out there who are nutritionists who are blogging. I mean, obviously, we're going to not talk about certain like M&T stuff, but you can start a blog. Just have on your about page that you're an intern. And by the time your website actually starts building up, I told you guys it takes about 6 to 9 months for someone to find your blog. By the time you hit that mark, you'll be a dietitian. And then you can, change your website. So I actually have several dietetic students and dietetic interns in my blogging accelerator program. And I love seeing students who are starting this so early in their careers, because you guys saw the growth of my traffic and the income, and what an amazing thing for students to start, when they're super young, and it just continues to grow and get better as long as you have the right strategy and community to kind of help you continue the journey. And really, it's all about just getting it done. I think a lot of people worry like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. But when it comes to time, I've recently read a quote. I forget who it's by. I think I shared it on Instagram because I was obsessed with it. But it talked about how the value of spare minutes and even spare seconds. And oftentimes we think, oh, I don't have time for stuff. In the blogging accelerator program, I have a whole module on how to get more time, because there's a lot of strategies we could do. There's a lot of time in our day that we just need to find. But even if you just have small chunks of time, if you are a student, if you are a mom with young children and working, like all the things, it's amazing what you could do with small chunks of time. And if you are utilizing those spare minutes, because everything I've been able to grow has been with working a full-time job and kids. It's just something I'm doing slowly over time. Now, if this was my full-time gig, it would probably be a different story, right? Because I could probably do things more and faster. But that's the thing about blogging, is that you can do it in your spare time and whenever it works best for your schedule, because it is a long-term game. So Jen asked, do you approach companies for ads or do they come to you? So let me talk to you guys about ads, because we really, the reality is with an hour, we're not able to get into the nitty gritty details of everything. You guys just learned a lot, so you know where to go to find out more information. But when it comes to ads, so what you usually do is you work with an ad network. So they're a middleman. I work with a company called Mediavine. They're what they call a high-end ad network. You have to have 50,000 sessions per month. So that's like 50,000 people coming to your website per month. And then when that happens, you apply for Mediavine, they get access to your website, and they do all the work. So they are the middleman who works with the advertisers and the bloggers, and they help you get the ads on your website and everything. And it's really easy. And then that's just how you make money, just by the ads being on your website. And I will tell you guys, I was a little iffy about ads in the beginning because, I think we've all been to clickbait sites where we like legitimately want to read an article and it's like pop up, pop up, pop up. And it's like, you have to click to read everything and it's super annoying, right? But I like to call Mediavine a classy ad network. I have ads in my sidebar. I have ads that are kind of as you scroll down, kind of like pictures in between. They're like not intrusive. I don't have pop-ups. I do have a video on mine that will come up. You could X out. And I think there's some ads in my video, but that video is like, that's just for my website, but it's small. So for me, I initially struggled with ads, but you guys could see you can make a lot of money through ad income. And the beauty about making money is that you can also use it to grow your business. Since I've been able to make money, I've been able to hire other dietitians to write for my blog. And so that helps other dietitians. That helps the public because they're getting even more information because I only have so much time in the day. So there's a lot of value that comes from making money. And, I'll tell you guys, when I go to a website with ads, I don't feel judgy. I'm not like, oh, I can't believe they have ads. And I think sometimes we worry about like what people are going to think and feel. So yeah, I don't approach companies for ads. I work with an ad network. So Karen, how much did it cost to start your blog? Meaning the cost of a domain, anything else you need to pay to get the ball rolling? Great question. I actually didn't cover that just because of time, but a blog domain name. So the URL costs $12 per year. And that's through Google domains. So $12 for that. The site hosting, I recommend SiteGround. When you first start, your first year of site hosting is going to be about, I think it's like $82. So to start your blog, it's going to take about $94. So that's for the website name and the website hosting for the first year. WordPress.org is free. You can get amazing free themes. And those are the two main costs you have. And that's super cheap though, because if you think about, if you were to start any other type of business, like a brick and mortar, think of how much money you'd have to pay for rent, for like equipment, for utilities, like all the things. And so $94 for your first year of blogging, that's super low. So the price of hosting does go up the second year because they give you like discounts to get you in, but it's not like crazy or unreasonable. And the goal is that we are blogging as a business with the intention to make money. So that way we are making more money over time. So then when the price goes up, it's like, no problem, I'm making money anyways. So that's the primary thing that you're going to spend money on. There's a couple of other things I will say you might want to spend money on. Number one, Canva Pro. So a lot of you are familiar with canva.com. That is a kind of a place where you make all cool designs. Like you see them on websites, on social media, all those cool designs you see people making, they're making them on Canva mostly. So Canva has a free version or a paid version. I found that most people, once they start blogging, they pay for the paid version just because there's a lot more stuff they get in there. It's totally worth it. So you might want to pay for Canva. And the other thing is what's called a keyword research tool. Now in my program, the Blogging Accelerator, I do teach a free method on how to find a ton of keywords. And, that's something you could do for free, but a lot of people choose to pay for a monthly subscription to a keyword research tool. The one that I recommend is called Key Search. I do have a coupon code if you guys ever want it. And with the coupon code, it's I think $13.60 per month. So it's not a lot of money. So I hope that paints a good picture. About $94 for your first year for the website name and the hosting, and then optional cost of $13.60 for a keyword research tool per month. And I feel like Canva's like $12 a month. It's not too much. I actually pay for both Canva and my keyword tool. I pay for them annually because typically when you pay for things annually, you get a couple months for free. So, and for me as a business owner, I have to pay taxes and keep my receipts for everything I buy. And it's so much easier to have one receipt instead of 12. So anything I could buy annually, I do. You're right. It is not that expensive at all. Just 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, so I don't see any other questions. And so we are going to go ahead and wrap things up today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Keep an eye out for an email from me. And yeah, go ahead, email me. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll talk soon, guys. Take care.